If you live in Connecticut, you've definitely seen it on your electric bill. It's that little line item, that small charge for public benefits. But have you ever stopped to wonder what it's really for? Or maybe more importantly, what all those tiny charges add up to across the entire state? Well, you might want to sit down for this, because the answer is over $1 billion a year, and it's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
So this is the big question, right? This is what we're here to figure out. And what's really wild is that almost nobody can give you a straight answer. Not even a lot of people in the government or at the utility companies. You'd think it would be a simple number to find, but it's surprisingly hard to pin down. Today, we're going to find it.
Now, if you do try to ask about this charge, you'll probably get one of these answers. And look, they're not wrong exactly, they're all technically true, but they just don't tell you the whole story, do they? They certainly don't give you any sense of the scale we're talking about. So let's just get past these talking points and dig into the real details.
To solve this mystery, we've got to start at the beginning. We need to understand what we're actually looking at on our bills. What is this bucket of fees that every single ratepayer in Connecticut pays into every month?
So here's what it is, in simple terms. It's a collection of fees that the state requires. And no, they are not optional. The best way to think about it is, it's not really a utility charge to make a profit, it's more like a state policy charge, collected through your utility bill to fund Connecticut's specific energy goals.
And this is where the mystery really starts to deepen. You see, it isn't just one single fee. Oh no. It's actually a bundle of dozens of smaller charges all rolled into one. We're talking everything from helping low-income families, to funding energy efficiency programs, to investing in clean energy, all the way to charges for grid reliability. There are literally over 60 of them. And this is why that big final number is so hard to find.
Okay, so if there are all these different charges, where is all this money flowing? You know, it's a really common misconception that the utility companies are just pocketing this cash. Let's clear that up right now.
This is absolutely crucial to understand. The utilities are just the collectors. Think of them like a pass-through or an accountant. Their job is to gather the money from all of our bills and then send it on to all the different state-mandated programs. The key takeaway here is simple. This money does not become utility profit.
This quote from the source material really gets to the heart of the matter. Just because the utility's name is on the bill, that doesn't mean they're the ones who are ultimately footing the bill. So who is?
We do. It's us. The final bill is paid by the ratepayers. That means you, me, our neighbors, and every business across the state of Connecticut. We are the ones funding all of these public policy initiatives every single time we pay our electric bills.
Okay, so now we know what the charge is and who pays for it. Now we get to the fun part. Let's actually find that hidden total. To do this, we just need two key clues, and they're both publicly available. You just have to know where to look.
Our first clue is the rate itself, the actual cost per kilowatt hour. And if we look at the numbers for 2024, you can see it actually varies. UI customers paid just over 6 cents per kilowatt hour, while Eversource customers paid over 8 cents for these exact same policy charges. So, to be fair and even a little conservative with our math, let's just establish a reasonable range for our big calculation. Based on the data over the years, a rate somewhere between 4 and 7 cents per kilowatt hour is a really safe bet. And that, right there, is clue number one. The second clue we need is the total amount of electricity Connecticut uses in a single year. Well, according to federal data, that number is a whopping 27.35 billion kilowatt hours. That is a truly massive amount of energy, and it is the other half of our equation.
So, we have our clues, we have our rate, and we have our total usage. Now it's time to put these two pieces together and finally solve this billion-dollar math problem.
You know, the calculation itself is actually pretty simple. You just take the total energy usage and you multiply it by the rate. But here's the part that'll blow your mind. For every single penny, just 1 cent, charged per kilowatt hour, it generates over $273 million a year statewide. So when you actually run the numbers, even using a pretty conservative rate from our range, you very quickly get to this staggering figure, roughly $1 billion, every single year, all collected from Connecticut ratepayers to fund these public policies. $1 billion is, well, it's just a staggering amount of money. So what does it really mean? It means that what looks like a tiny, almost insignificant little charge on your personal bill has immense collective power when you add it all up. And that $1 billion isn't just vanishing into thin air.
It's the engine that powers so many of Connecticut's key energy initiatives. It's what pays for energy assistance for those who need it, for those statewide efficiency programs that help all of us save money, for big investments in clean energy, and for all those state-mandated energy contracts.
So there you have it. The mystery is solved. Now you know the real story. The next time you look at your bill or you hear someone say, "Oh, it's just a small charge," you'll know the truth. You'll know that all those small charges add up to a billion-dollar funding stream.
And that really leaves us with one last important question to think about. Now that we understand the true scale of this existing financial commitment from ratepayers, does that change how we should think about adding new costs or new policies to our bills in the future? It's a powerful thought and definitely something worth considering.